We're diving right into the architecture of daily wealth. I think we're all feeling a little exhausted by the whole get rich quick culture, right? Every time you open your phone, it's a story about some guy finding the next NVIDIA, building a $1 billion unicorn startup in his garage, or a neighbor getting inexplicably rich off a random meme coin. It creates this underlying anxiety, like we're somehow missing out on this giant lottery of opportunity. We are going to completely dismantle that myth. We're breaking down how wealth is actually practically built in the real world, no luck required. Let's just go ahead and shatter that illusion of the one-time wealth event right now. The myth is that you need an extraordinary lightning strike like winning the lottery or perfectly timing a crypto market. But man, history tells a completely different story. The reality? Financially successful people aren't usually making crazy, extraordinary decisions. They're making thousands of completely ordinary decisions, just slightly better than everyone else. Every dollar they save, every book they read, every random impulse purchase they manage to avoid. It's not an overnight shift. It's about actions that quietly, consistently reshape your future. So that brings us to section 1, treating money as a system and moving beyond the wealth event myth. Think about it. Most people only really think about money when an event happens. Payday, tax season, or worst case, a market crash or sudden emergency. But money isn't just something that happens to you. It's a daily machine that you actively build. Look at this idea. It absolutely hits the nail on the head. Just like brushing your teeth prevents future problems, managing money daily prevents financial disasters. You don't brush your teeth once a year and expect no cavities, so why treat your finances like that? Financial freedom is a preventative system, not a reactive panic. It grows quietly, 1 month at a time. And the secret engine behind this system? It really just comes down to one tiny number, 1%. Imagine if you just improved your financial life by 1 single percent every day. That improvement compounds. And the crazy part is, it's not just money. Your knowledge compounds, your reputation compounds, your trust with others compounds. It is literally the invisible math of the universe working for you every single day. All right, let's jump into section 2, every dollar needs a job and how we actually engineer the system. Here's the thing, money loves direction. If a dollar shows up in your life without a specific purpose, it almost always turns into simple consumption. Poof, gone. That's exactly why so many people earn massive salaries, but are always wondering where the heck it all went. But when every single dollar gets an assignment before it arrives, game changer. Some dollars pay today's bills, some are your emergency shield, some buy education, and some buy assets. When you assign them a job, those dollars transform from simple consumption into actual freedom. Now, obviously, savings is a huge piece of this system, but we really need to reframe how we look at it. People think saving is just this boring chore, hoarding pennies in a bank account for a tiny bit of interest. No, no, no. When you save, you are literally purchasing flexibility. You are buying the option to walk away from a toxic job. You're buying the ability to move across the country or to handle a blown tire calmly instead of panicking. The person living paycheck to paycheck has obligations. The person with cash, they have options. But hey, wealth isn't just dollars and cents. There's a hidden wealth we completely miss: productivity. A lot of people blindly chase a higher salary, but the truly successful, they obsess over how they spend their time. Time management is financial management. You have to protect your attention. Cut down on pointless meetings, limit distractions, automate the repetitive stuff, and delegate those low-value tasks. Spending 1 focused hour learning a new skill can pay you dividends for decades. A distracted hour, it just disappears forever. Of course, knowing this and actually doing it are totally different things. You don't get wealthy because you felt super inspired for one weekend. Let's be real, motivation always fades. It's the lasting habits that stick around to do the heavy lifting. Things like automatic investing, automatic transfers to your savings, maybe a weekly financial review over coffee. Consistency is going to beat intensity every single time. Moving right along to section 3, accelerators and future-proofing, where we look at multiplying this baseline system. So you've got the baseline running, now we hit the gas. And the very first accelerator is, well, it's you. Your career is the largest investment you have. Think about how much time people spend agonizing over which mutual fund gets a fraction of a percent better return, while totally ignoring the asset that produces millions over their lifetime, their career. If you invest in communication, negotiation, leadership, and problem solving, you are compounding your salary and your reputation over decades. And as you're building that career,
You absolutely cannot ignore the massive technological shifts happening right beneath our feet. Instead of looking at artificial intelligence and panicking, you need to ask yourself a very specific question. How quickly will I learn to work alongside AI? Every single tech revolution in history has created new winners. And you know who they are? They're simply the ones who chose to adapt. The reality on the ground is that AI is replacing specific tasks, not entire workers. The entrepreneurs and the employees who figure out how to leverage AI to automate designs, speed up their research, write code faster, or streamline customer service, they become dramatically more productive. They become the new winners.
Okay, so how do we build outward from there? First, you look at side hustles. This creates resilience so you aren't completely dependent on one single paycheck. Over time, those side hustles can grow into full-blown businesses, systems that actually earn money while you're sleeping. And then finally, you move into investing. And remember, investing isn't gambling. It's simply gaining ownership of productive assets, so your money works totally independent of your time.
Now, here's a bit of a harsh truth about all that income you're building up. Making it is only half the battle. Actually keeping it requires a deep understanding of taxes and economics, not just hustling for a bigger paycheck. You could have two people making the exact same salary, but the one who understands tax-efficient investing, corporate structures, and how economic forces like inflation work, they are going to keep significantly more wealth.
We see this incredibly clearly in real estate. It is so much more than just buying a physical house to live in. To make a property actually function as a wealth-producing system, you have to master the economics surrounding it. You need to understand cash flow, leverage, population trends, and rental demand in the area. The physical building itself honestly matters way less than the math acting upon it. Which brings us to our final act, Section 4, True Wealth Beyond Money and Redefining the Ultimate Goal. So, we've built this great daily system, we've multiplied it, we've protected it. But why? Because at the end of the day, money is just one slice of the pie. A big bank account means absolutely zero if your health fails, your family falls apart, or you literally have no free time to enjoy life. Real, true wealth includes your health, your relationships, your freedom, and your peace of mind. Money's only job is to improve your life. It's not supposed to replace it. And that brings us to a really powerful conclusion. 366. That's the number of days in a leap year. But more importantly, it represents the massive compounding opportunity sitting right in front of you today. Just imagine making one slightly better financial decision every single day for 366 days. We're not talking perfect decisions, just better ones. Reading 10 pages of a book, setting aside $20, taking 20 minutes to learn a new AI tool, negotiating a single internet bill, or even just taking a walk instead of driving. On its own, one action seems totally insignificant. Who cares, right? But stack that up over a year and you build undeniable, unstoppable momentum. Those small daily decisions create momentum. That momentum quickly solidifies into automatic habits. Those habits structure themselves into unbreakable systems. And those systems, they effortlessly generate true wealth. Listen, extraordinary financial success almost never starts with a crazy extraordinary opportunity. It starts with perfectly ordinary decisions repeated way longer than most people are willing to stick with them. Which leaves us with one final provocative question for you to really think about. What is the next small decision that makes tomorrow easier than today? Because true wealth isn't built in a single transaction. It's built one day at a time. And your own daily wealth-building journey can literally begin right now with just one small decision.